The Coach Curl podcast is brought to you by Think and Grow Business, the home of the Think and Grow Business Mastermind. If you're serious about growing your business, get serious and join a mastermind group today. Find out more at thinkandgrowbusiness.com.au.
Turning that flicker into a flame. That's what today's podcast is all about, how you can use focus to turn that flicker into a flame.
Way to go, guys. Way to go. Keep it going. Good job, guys. All right, Paul, I see you. All right, Charlie. Finish, Sean. Coach Curl. Great job, guys.
Coach Curl, we love you!
Hey there, it's Coach Curl here, and welcome to episode 129 of the Coach Curl podcast. And today I'm talking about how you can turn that flicker into a flame. You know, that flicker of enthusiasm that sometimes we get when we're approaching something new and exciting. How can we turn that into a raging flame of motivation? So, and this is continuing on the journey that we started last week about how we can remain fully motivated and using some little hints, tricks, hacks to create sustainable motivation into our lives. And today I'm sharing a couple of things in relation to what a lack of focus does to kill our motivation, and providing some tips and some advice on how you can change or shift that lack of focus. And I'm not just talking about that initial serve of enthusiasm that we all get when we're excited about an idea or a new project. It's that sustained motivation that leads us to ultimately complete to a high level of excellence. That's the stuff that we all need, and that's the stuff that we want. Because when we get into a state of flow, and let's face it, a state of flow is what we see when we have achieved success over a sustained effort. It's a state of flow. And when we get into that state of flow, we can continue to work in this highly motivated state. We're consistent and we're deliberate. Now, it's important to understand that if you really are trying to achieve anything with your life, that you've already got what it takes. You've already got what it takes to create the state of flow. You really do. And I know that might sound like a little bit of a pep talk, and in some ways it is, but truly it isn't. It's just a simple fact. It's a statement of fact. All of us are capable of achieving a state of flow. It's you may think it's beyond you, but ultimately what you have inside you enables you to be able to do that. Now, you may not label it as a state of flow. Some people call it momentum, for example. But there have been times in your life where you've achieved something, and you've achieved something over a sustained period of time, and you've been able to remain motivated while you've achieved something. So it's a mental and an emotional state where things actually come easier for you. And that's what we're talking about, whether it's momentum or whether it's a statement of flow. Now, I'm not just talking about sitting back and thinking and not having a crack and thinking that our life's pretty easy and that you've got everything figured out. It's not about accepting where you are and thinking that's as good as what it comes. I'm not talking about that. This is something that happens in our head where sustained success, sustained results come easier because of our state of mind, our state of flow, our momentum. And really it's a behavior. And it's a behavior that it's what I call behavior is our impact zone. Because when we achieve a state of flow, we work in such a way where things become quicker, easier, and in some ways effortless. Things just fall into place. And it seems like regardless of what you're doing, whenever you make a move, it just happens to be the right one. It just happens to be at the right time. But that's about being in a state of flow, a state of awareness, a state of momentum. And wouldn't it be awesome if you could put this into almost everything that you do in your life? And yes, it's available. It can be done. Basically, habitually successful people, and I'm talking about those people that we see celebrated and elevated, those ones that are consistently successful, they can trigger a state of flow in almost everything that they do. And that's why they've got this ability to achieve in so many ways to a greater extent to what us mere mortals can do. And for the rest of us, we look at them as if they've got something that we don't. The reality is that we all have it. But we struggle with motivation. And we struggle with the right way that we can build that state of flow. Most people will struggle. Some people are clueless about what it takes to get into that mental state. But for most of us, we just struggle. And it's a shame because we all have it. We all have it. And the way that we can achieve a state of flow is through motivation. And a motivation enables us or enables you to keep going despite the fact that there's, obstacles being thrown in your path. There's roadblocks that you're coming across. You've got people telling you that it cannot be done. But it's that motivation that keeps pushing us to continue to overcome. So we're overcoming the failure, the disappointment, the heartbreak. And our motivation is driving us towards our ultimate result. Now, motivation's crucial, yes, to achieving that state of flow. And once we get into a state of flow, that's when we talk about momentum. And we're able to maintain that state for extended periods of time. However, you've got to get there. You've got to get there. It's easy to say, well, motivation will get me there, but it is about getting there. And this is what it is. This is what it's all about. This is where I talk about focus. Because the reality is that most people allow the small stuff in life to get in the way. The gossiping about other people, worrying about what's going to happen, worrying about what someone else is doing, as opposed to controlling what it is that we've got to do. We get obsessed about things like deadlines, being busy, responsibilities. And of course, obligations and responsibilities are important in our life, but they also act in so many ways to kill our focus on what it is that we really want to achieve. Now, if you don't have focus, it kills motivation. And basically, we just get caught up in, we get scatterbrained about being busy. You're basically trying to put Band-Aids on everything. We get into a reactive mode and we're just trying to fix the problems as opposed to work towards a sustainable solution. And this is what we're doing. We're not looking at the big things in life. We're allowing ourselves to be driven forward by what I would call busyness. But we're not allowing ourselves to be driven forward by being focused on what it is that we want to achieve. We allow distractions to take that focus away from goals and our dreams. And in some ways, we allow life to take away our focus from what we may see as our purpose. A lot of people talk about purpose. A lot of times in our podcast history, we've talked about purpose. But sometimes life just gets in the way, doesn't it? And it's really hard to continue to stay focused in on our purpose because we're distracted, we're busy, we tell ourselves that we've just got too much to do. So what we end up doing is focusing on the things that, like the small things. So we don't put the energy into dreaming or setting goals or setting really big goals or understanding what the limits of my potential are. We get obsessed about the things that are right in front of our nose, and therefore we lose focus on the things that our potential could do. We allow our busyness to take away from our true potential. And on a daily basis, we're reminded that we're tired, that we've put a lot of effort in, that we've drained our energy, and then we look around and say, what have I got to show for that? And we ultimately get caught up in this revolving day-by-day scenario where we're just busy, draining, working, but with very little to show of it. And when you finally get sick and tired of not achieving what you really want, that's when focus can really help. Where we start to focus in on our goals, on our plans, on our dreams, that's when we can turn that flicker of enthusiasm, and we can turn it into a raging fire, a raging flame. But it takes work to focus. It takes discipline, it takes intention. And it's about creating this unchallenged feeling of emotion that surrounds what it is that we're setting out to achieve. We should never be able to question that emotion. If we've got an emotion for something that we want to do, we should be feeling that. It should be unquestioned. It should be unchallenged within us. And it should be tied and aligned to a goal, tied to an achievement. And it's all about stirring or stoking that inner fire. And it's all about turning up the flame. And it sounds simple, as everything does. It sounds simple. Focus on your goals. Focus on your purpose. You can get it done. Everything is easier said than done, isn't it? And that's why I talk about discipline and intention. You actually need to have some discipline to remain focused while you've got all these distractions of busyness going on around you. But one of the big tips that I want to share, the big tip I want to share with you today, and one way that you can help drive focus into your life, because focus will breed motivation, absolutely, without a doubt. And we need to create that focus. And the big tip today is sit down sometime today and reflect on what you stand to lose if you cannot achieve focus. Because focus comes before motivation. So what is it that you stand to lose? Reflect on what you'll miss out on if you continue to lose focus. Get into that state of flow. Really spend some time and some energy focusing in on what it is you want. And to get started, reflect on the possibility, the probability that you're not going to achieve that until you get some focus into your life. If you want to lose weight, it's about behaviors and habits. Behaviors lead to habits, right? Behaviors lead to habits. We know that. But it's about doing the right thing today to create that focus around that habit that's going to see you unleash that state of flow and create your wildest dreams. Hey, thanks for listening. If you believe this podcast will add value to others, please share, like, and please post a review. The more reviews that we can have, the more positive reviews, of course. 5-star reviews are awesome. The more reviews that we have, the more likely the algorithm works in helping us get found by others that may be looking for exactly what we're talking about. So please share with others. Please share with your network. Like, review. As always, a big shout out to the team at Think and Grow Business, improving the performance of people in business. Check them out at thinkandgrowbusiness.com. Don't forget the Coach Curl Academy is your online academy packed with over 70 programs to strengthen your mindset, your leadership, and deliver business growth to you. Check it out. Do a Google search, the Coach Curl Academy. I've got no doubt that we will come up. As always, I have written a book. It's called Seriously Simple Stuff to Get You Unstuck. It's available where all good books are sold online. and in all likelihood, probably where all bad books are sold online as well. Or you can get a signed author's copy at my author's page at tonycurl.com.au. Don't forget, 20% of every book sold goes to support the great work being done by the team at Carter's Cause, raising funds and awareness for kids and the families of kids born with congenital heart disease. A big shout out to Totally Builderall. It's an integrated digital platform. Lead pages, CRMs, mailing lists, video makers, you name it, it's there. Go check it out at totallybuilderall.com. And also the ability for you to actually earn some money from referring people is another little incentive there for you to get behind that particular platform. It's totallybuilderall.com. And if you're looking for one single platform for all of your business, you know, for funnels and mailing lists and everything, just bots, Facebook bots, chat bots, you name it, it's there. So check it out, Totally Builderall. Sign up for the 7-day free trial, and you don't even need a credit card. Hey, look, I know you've been through a lot, but you're still standing stronger, braver, and wiser. And as per always, don't ever forget the golden rule. Yes, you know what it is. Don't be an arsehole. Until next time, I'll see you then.